Hey, welcome to World Mind Hub. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Breaking news, an unprecedented escalation. Iran launches its Sejjil missile toward Israel, and suddenly, the world teeters on the brink of a wider war. The tension is palpable, the stakes higher than ever before. In the pre-dawn darkness over the Zagros Mountains, a blinding, searing light tore through the sky, shattering the silence of the night and signaling a moment that would be remembered for generations. Iran had unleashed its most powerful conventional weapon, a missile designed not just for destruction, but for sending a message to the world. The Sejjil missile, named after baked clay in the Quran, a reference to divine retribution, began its ascent. This was more than a launch. It was a declaration of intent, a bold move in a dangerous game. Across continents, the world watched in real time, breath held, as this spear of fire began its journey. Newsrooms buzzed, social media exploded, and millions tuned in, unable to look away. A colossal pillar of flame pushed the missile upward, its thunderous roar echoing for miles, shaking windows and rattling nerves far beyond the launch site. As the Sejjil climbed higher, it shed its first stage in a burst of light, then ignited its second, racing toward the edge of space with relentless force and precision. The exhaust plume shifted colors, white, blue, then silver, painting a deadly, beautiful trail across the sky, a warning written in fire and smoke. This was more than a weapon, it was a psychological shockwave, a demonstration of power that sent ripples of fear and uncertainty through every capital. It signaled a new, more dangerous chapter in an already brutal conflict. On the ground, people stared upward, some filming, others frozen in disbelief, their faces illuminated by the fiery trail above. The sense of vulnerability was overwhelming. The missile's trail lingered in the dawn sky, a scar marking the path of potential annihilation, a reminder that the world had just changed in an instant. In Israel, air raid sirens wailed, their piercing sound cutting through the night, warning of imminent danger. Families rushed to bomb shelters, terror mounting with every second. Children clung to parents, hearts pounding as the threat drew closer. This was no short-range rocket, this was a strategic long-range missile, engineered for devastating precision, and capable of reaching deep into enemy territory. Military and intelligence agencies worldwide tracked its every move, their screens lighting up with data, commanders issuing urgent orders. Satellites and radar arrays locked on, confirming the missile's unmistakable target. The world's most advanced technology was now focused on a single deadly object. The Sejjil arced over Iraq and Syria, its shadow passing over ancient lands, descending inexorably toward Israel. The game had changed. The board had been flipped. Every calculation, every strategy was now upended. Iran had crossed a red line many thought it would never dare, shattering assumptions and forcing the world to confront a terrifying new reality. The question was no longer if the war would escalate, but how soon, and how far it would spiral out of control. The world braced for what would come next, knowing that the sky-bleeding fire was only the beginning of a much larger storm. What is the Sejjil missile? This question has become more urgent than ever, as the world watches Iran's military ambitions unfold on the global stage. Understanding the Sejjil is key to grasping the gravity of this moment. It's not just another missile, it's a symbol of technological progress, national pride, and a new era in regional power dynamics. The Sejjil is a two-stage, solid-fueled, medium-range ballistic missile, a technological leap for Iran. Unlike older liquid-fueled designs, this missile can be stored for long periods and launched at a moment's notice, making it far more versatile and dangerous. Solid fuel means it's launch-ready, hidden in silos or on mobile launchers, hard to find and destroy. This mobility and concealment make it a nightmare for any adversary trying to neutralize it before launch. This gives Iran a credible second strike capability, making preemptive attacks a dangerous gamble. Even if an enemy strikes first, Iran could still retaliate with devastating force. The Sejjil is fast, up to Mach 12 or over 9,000 miles per hour, making interception extremely difficult. Its speed compresses reaction times, leaving defense systems with only seconds to respond. Its range, up to 2,500 kilometers, puts all of Israel, US bases, and parts of Europe within reach. This reach extends Iran's influence far beyond its borders, reshaping the strategic landscape. The warhead, up to 1,000 kilograms of high explosives, enough to flatten city blocks or military bases. Such destructive power means a single missile could change the course of a conflict in moments. While Iran claims its nuclear program is peaceful, the Sejjil is nuclear capable by design. This capability raises fears and speculation about Iran's true intentions and the future of nuclear proliferation in the region. The June 18 launch was not just a military act, it was a demonstration of existential threat. It sent a clear message to both allies and adversaries. Iran's missile program is advancing, and it cannot be ignored. The missile's speed, range, and readiness have changed the region's strategic calculus. Military planners across the Middle East and beyond are now forced to reconsider their assumptions and strategies. It's a weapon designed to be seen, feared, and respected. Its very existence is a form of psychological warfare, projecting power and deterrence. For adversaries, it means less warning, less time to react. The margin for error is razor thin, and the stakes are higher than ever. For Iran, it's a tool of deterrence and power projection. It strengthens their negotiating position and signals their resolve to defend their interests at any cost. The Sejjil's launch was a message. Iran can strike and strike hard at any time. The world is now on notice. The balance of power in the Middle East has shifted. With the Sejjil, Iran has redefined what's possible and what's at stake in the region. This launch was no random act, it was a calculated message. For weeks, Iran and Israel clashed through proxies, but this was direct, unmistakable. By launching from its own soil, Iran claimed ownership, signaling readiness for open conflict. The primary audience, Israel. After Israeli airstrikes on Iranian sites, Iran needed to show its red lines mattered. The Sejjil was retaliation, proof Iran could hit back anywhere, anytime. The second audience, the United States. With US forces in range, Iran warned that intervention would come at a high price. The missile's range is a reminder. American bases are not safe. Domestically, the launch rallied nationalist sentiment, projecting strength amid internal pressures. Iran's leadership sought to unify the public, silence critics, and show it remains a formidable power. The Sejjil's flight was a message to the world. Iran will defend its interests, no matter the cost. The Sejjil's flight cast a shadow over Washington. The US, bound to Israel, now faces pressure to respond, risking direct involvement in a regional war. American troops across the Middle East are within range, turning them into potential targets. Any US action could provoke massive Iranian retaliation, forcing grim choices in the Situation Room. The missile's launch forced America to reassess its alliances, commitments, and the true cost of intervention. The Sejjil is just one piece of Iran's arsenal. Iran's strategy is asymmetric, mixing ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones to overwhelm defenses. Its missile program is the largest in the region, with weapons of varying range and precision. Cruise missiles and suicide drones add complexity, evading radar and saturating air defenses. Iran arms proxies like Hezbollah and the Houthis, projecting power and threatening multiple fronts. The Sejjil launch signals Iran's willingness to use its most powerful weapons directly. Beyond missiles, Iran wages war in cyberspace. State-sponsored hackers target government, financial, and infrastructure systems in Israel and beyond. Cyber attacks could disrupt air defenses, power grids, and communications, amplifying chaos during missile strikes. There's also the specter of an EMP attack, a high-altitude blast that could cripple electronics and plunge society into darkness. While a conventional EMP remains theoretical, the threat is real and terrifying. Iran's cyber and potential EMP capabilities are force multipliers, threatening collapse without a single bomb dropped. The battlefield is no longer just physical, it's digital, silent, and everywhere. The next war may be fought as much with code as with missiles. For years, Israel's multi-layered air defenses, Iron Dome, David's Sling, and Arrow, have stood as a technological shield, providing a sense of security against a wide range of aerial threats. These systems have intercepted thousands of rockets and missiles, saving countless lives, and becoming a symbol of Israeli resilience. But now, the Sejjil missile's incredible speed and unpredictable trajectory present a new challenge, even for the advanced Arrow system, which was specifically designed for high-altitude, long-range interceptions. Iran's evolving strategy relies on saturation attacks, launching waves of missiles simultaneously to overwhelm and confuse Israel's layered defenses, making it harder to intercept every threat. The economics of this conflict favor Iran. While each Arrow interceptor costs millions of dollars to produce and deploy, Iranian missiles are far cheaper and can be manufactured in large quantities, tipping the balance in a prolonged exchange. A sustained barrage could quickly deplete Israel's expensive stockpiles of interceptors, potentially faster than they can be replenished, leaving gaps in the nation's defenses. The The recent Sejjil launch has exposed the real-world limits of Israel's technological shield, showing that even the best systems can be outmatched. The psychological impact on the population is profound. The once strong sense of invulnerability has been shattered, replaced by anxiety and uncertainty. Israeli military planners must now accept a new reality. Some missiles will inevitably get through no matter how advanced their defenses. This sobering realization will influence every military and diplomatic decision Israel makes in the coming months, as leaders weigh the risks and search for new solutions. The once impenetrable shield has been cracked, revealing vulnerabilities that adversaries may seek to exploit. The threat facing Israel is now more real and immediate than ever before, and the stakes for national security have never been higher. Israel must adapt its strategies and technology quickly, otherwise it risks facing devastating consequences in future conflicts. The era of perfect defense is over. Israel must now prepare for a new kind of warfare, where resilience and rapid adaptation are key. The next attack could be even more sophisticated and harder to stop, testing the limits of Israel's defenses like never before. The Sejjil launch sent shockwaves worldwide. The UN Security Council convened an emergency session, diplomacy tense, divisions deep. Iran defended its actions, Israel and the US condemned them as reckless and destabilizing. Global powers are forced to choose sides or attempt neutrality. Oil prices spiked, shipping halted, and the world economy teetered. The Strait of Hormuz became a potential war zone, threatening global energy supplies. Communication channels are breaking down, and rhetoric is escalating. Mediators scramble for a diplomatic off-ramp, but space for negotiation is shrinking. The world watches, hoping for de-escalation, fearing the worst. The crisis is no longer regional, it's global. We stand on a knife's edge. The Sejjil launch shattered the fragile stability of the Middle East. Direct, state-on-state attacks are now reality, raising the risk of catastrophic miscalculation. A massive Israeli retaliation could trigger a regional war, drawing in Iran, US forces, and regional proxies. The human and economic costs would be staggering, cities destroyed, refugees fleeing, economies collapsing. The path from crisis to disaster is frighteningly short. The coming days will determine if this conflict can be contained, or if the region will be engulfed in flames. The sky is now a battlefield, and the first shot has already been fired.